Today I'm going to answer your most urgent questions about this nasty little coronavirus. And I will also show you what you need to know if you have suppliers in China for your online Amazon or e-commerce business. Mainstream media copywriters are paid to shock you because if you are shocked, you will click. And if you click, they make money. Well, it just so turns out the coronavirus has created the perfect incubation for feeding that shock. So let's take this shock head on. Shock number one. There's a very strong chance you contracted the coronavirus and didn't even know it. No, I'm not making a sick joke. I'm dead serious. And that is because the coronavirus is not one virus, but a family of viruses. They have cousins, uncles, nephews, and people and animals have been infected by different strains of the coronavirus for as long as we knew what a virus was. And most of those virus strains are pretty innocuous. They give you things like the common cold, a sneezy nose. But the virus the entire world is talking about right now is not nice little aunt or the jolly uncle. It's a new strain, which is why they dubbed it the novel coronavirus, also called 2019-nCoV. And as of today, it has claimed over 300 lives. On December 31st, 2019, China alerted the World Health Organization to several cases of pneumonia in Wuhan, a port city of 11 million people in the central Hubei province. Now, little did they know, the cause of this pneumonia would explode into something that would cost them $14 billion within the next 30 days. Shock number two, the virus SARS spread to 8,000 people in 9 months. However, the novel coronavirus did the same in less than 30 days. Now, at first, this sounds like an outbreak with the likes of a medieval plague. But as much as the media enjoys shocking your socks off so they can get you to click and make money off those clicks, there's something very important you need to know. SARS, which just so happens to be another strain of the coronavirus, killed 10% of its hosts. As of today, novel coronavirus, the one that everyone's talking about, has taken the lives of 2.5% of the people who contracted it. 2.5 compared to 10%. And the majority of those who contracted it and also died already either were elderly or had a disease or some kind of sickness that their body was fighting, which made it more difficult for their body to fight against the disease, and thus they passed away. Shock fact number three. The novel coronavirus has spread to 25 countries. Now, understandably, this makes the world nervous. 11,949 people have contracted the disease in 25 countries. However, 98.7% of those infected are living in China. Spain has 1 person infected. Sweden has 1 person infected. India has 1 person infected. Nepal has 1 person infected. The chances of quarantining the outbreak of a virus in a country when only a single person has been diagnosed as infected is far, far easier than containing it in a country with over 10,000 people infected, as it is in China right now. Now, as of today, doctors in the US have diagnosed 8 people in the US as having the virus. These people live in the states of Washington, California, Arizona, Missouri, and Massachusetts. Of the big 7, the continents unaffected so far with no case of someone having been diagnosed with novel coronavirus are Africa, South America, and as you probably guessed, Antarctica. Shock fact number 4, the virus spreads before people even know they have it. Again, you see this in headlines, you see this on the news, and people get so worried, but let's just break it down for a minute. The novel coronavirus has an incubation period of 2 to 14 days. This means for 2 to 14 days, you don't know you have the virus because you don't have symptoms. But this also means that people are spreading the virus to others before they know they even have it. But SARS, on the other hand, could only spread during the symptom phase, so you would know immediately if you had it. Should you be panicking? No. Should you be on the alert? Absolutely. But Seth, what about my Amazon business? I have suppliers in China. Well, first of all, I want you to know we have 2 full-time staff on salary in China who are able to keep us updated on what's going on. So you're not just hearing it from America's perspective or Europe's perspective, but actually from within China. But there are several things you need to know if you have suppliers in China and you're building an online Amazon business. Number 1, do not fly to China until this dies down. Wait. I already purchased tickets to go to China and live there for 2 months with Dan Rogers, one of our Just When I'm coaches, from mid-May to July. We're going to learn the Chinese language. Our goal is to learn it to a conversational level while we network and collaborate with the suppliers for our products, meet new suppliers, and actually go to schools. Schools that are teaching Chinese Amazon sellers how to sell on Amazon. Have you had an issue where a Chinese Amazon seller is latched into your listing or they're copying you, they're beating you by the price and you're wondering what in the world is going on? We are going to learn in their class how they're doing what they do. That way you can compete against them effectively. And we include that content for all of our members of Just One Dime. Number 2, it is extremely unlikely that the virus can be transferred by mail. Many of you guys have asked this, and I'm going to answer it by telling you exactly what CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, say about this. Because of poor survivability of these coronaviruses on surfaces, there is a likely very low risk of spread from products or packaging that are shipped over a period of days or weeks at ambient temperatures. That's a fancy way of saying the chances of the virus being delivered into the US or into Europe or an Amazon's fulfillment center because it's sitting on your product is little to none, because they just can't survive in non-human body temperatures. Number 3, your production and your shipments from China will be delayed. The Chinese government extended the New Year holiday by more than a week in effort to halt the spread of this virus. Now, some businesses may not go back to work until even later. One of our suppliers is going to take 55 days to create 2 different molds, and we're a little frustrated, and I just messaged her the other day and said, is there any way you guys can make that faster? Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh shoot, that means if there's a delay, I'm going to run out of inventory. And I hear people online saying, make sure you don't run out of inventory. My question is, why are you worried about running out of inventory? Look, make sure if you do run out of inventory that you close your Amazon listing and you're going to be fine. That way you don't develop a bad sales history, a low sales history, and then have to re-promote your product to get it ranking at the same BSR level as it did before. My point is, do not overbuy out of fear. Don't cause this to make you think, oh my goodness, I got to add more, I got to add more. Not necessarily. Our most effective products were often set in small chunks of 250, maybe 500. And then as they grow, we buy more inventory based on how it's selling. But running out of inventory is not necessarily bad. In fact, sometimes you should be, because it's a sign you're selling fast, you ranked it well. And the worst thing in the world is the other extreme, having sitting inventory. I would rather run out of inventory any day before having sitting inventory that's costing me a bunch of storage fees, and it's also frozen cash. That's money frozen I can't use as long as it's sitting in Amazon's fulfillment center. But there is one caveat you need to know. If your product has proven itself already, and you know it sells strong, go ahead and increase your order now while you can. Go ahead and contact your agent in China, your supplier, whoever it is, and tell them, look, I would like a larger order. Because if you've already been selling this product and you know its history well and you're confident, there's no reason you shouldn't. And let me tell you why. In China, when working with suppliers, this old quote is not true. First come, first served. Often suppliers will tell you that's true, but I've been doing this for years. I have Chinese staff. It is not true. It is deep pockets first served. Those who have bigger orders tend to get priority over those who have smaller orders. So if you want to take advantage of that, now is the time. Number 4. For all of you Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers out there, number 4, use this time as an opportunity to deepen your relationship with your supplier. Now look, I understand that on paper, they may not be your business partner, but in your dealings and conversations, that is exactly how you should treat them. Your supplier has a huge impact on the success of your business. They are suffering right now. They're going through a massive trauma, and it is worth it to take time to see how they are doing. Not only is that just human compassion to care and ask them how they are, but it also will build a good relationship for the future as you grow your business. Listen, this is not the first time the world has had an outbreak of viruses. We had Ebola, we had SARS, now we have novel coronavirus, and there's been many in the past. This isn't something new. It might feel new, but it's not. Just be wise, be smart, take alert, understand the media's job is to shock you with the headlines so that you'll click. I was just looking at one report from CNN. They said almost 14,000 outbreaks. And I'm like, what? That's not accurate. I just went to the Center for Disease and Control, and then I click on the link and it says almost 12,000. But I was like, come on, you guys, you're saying 14,000 and it's not even 12,000 yet. A lot of mainstream media will do this because they want to get your money. They want your attention. They're interested in what's sensational. No, all I want is the facts. Give me the facts, ma'am. That's all I want. If I have the facts, then I can make a wise decision for my business, for my family, for my team, and for those who I love. And I hope that you will do the same. Wherever you are in this amazing world, I hope that this time in your life, 2020, is the most amazing year for you. Whether you're going through a high moment or a low moment, everything that happens to you happens for a reason. And if you receive it as a student, it will make you stronger and you will crush it. Guys, let's do this. Before I forget, my staff keep telling me to say this. Please, will you thumbs up the video and subscribe if you haven't. We bring a ton of content here and we're working hard to bring you more. And if you have any questions at all, comment below. We will answer.